Hey beautiful people, today we're here to talk about why are leadership skills important in the workplace. In this video we're going to look at what if leadership isn't about being in charge, but it's about improving how work flows and how people work together. I want to ask you whether or not you think about leadership as managing tasks, or whether or not you're leading people, big distinction that I want you to make. And if you think leadership is reserved exclusively for executives and you're waiting to be led, I want you to really think again. Leadership is an incredibly important vehicle for people who are leading themselves or who are leading others to be able to be seen, heard, and valued in the workplace. By the end of this video, you'll understand why leadership isn't just for managers and executives. Leadership is really about contribution. It's about influence, about clarity, it's about vision, and you need to embrace those for yourself no matter where you are in the organization. Good leadership across the board is correlated with higher performance, better returns, better financial returns, better returns on investment, better shareholder returns. It's also correlated with higher customer satisfaction, higher quality products. So we all know and have heard of great leaders in our lives and in our experience. They're there and considered leaders for a reason because they led humanity, all of us, to do something better than we would have been able to do without them. Poor leadership, on the other hand, creates polarization, it creates friction, it creates burnout, it creates overwhelm. And we can see cycles of good and bad leadership in our own world, in our own country, and we can see what it does to us. I want to help you identify specific leadership skills that are really relevant in today's fast-changing world and see how you develop those for yourself and help you develop them. And I want to help you make a mindset shift from a manager of tasks to a leader of people. Leading people through change, leading people through transformation, leading people to do more together than they could ever have done separately. I think we're fairly clear at this point that leadership skills drive organizational success. But organizational success comes from each one of us. It doesn't just come from a leader. A leader is someone who actually helps to amplify the emotional intelligence, the technical capability, and the delivery and execution capability of those around them. They're the person that allows us to be able to see the bigger vision that we're working towards and how we can make our lives more interesting, more enjoyable, how we can contribute more value by being part of the team that leader is leading. There's some great data to show that organizations with very powerful, robust, and effective leadership teams are 12 times more likely to have powerful business results. It's important for you to recognize that if you're working in an organization that has no leadership development, you're probably going to be questioning whether or not they're going to have good business results. If they're not having good business results, there isn't a lot of opportunity for you to be able to get promoted or to step into a leadership role yourself. So they very much go hand in hand. If they have a good leadership program, there are going to be more opportunities for you because it's going to deliver better results for the company as a whole. We've all had the misfortune of working for an ineffective leader or somebody who had a low level of emotional intelligence and was always sort of aggressive and anxious and angry and picking arguments and things like that and needing to be right all the time. And so what we can see that reflected in the broader workplace as a whole, and what we can see is that if people have poor leadership skills and low emotional intelligence, there's a higher turnover on their teams because sensible people leave. There's this concept of accidental managers. And in the UK, there was a survey done and they noticed that 82% of people who left companies left because they were working for an accidental manager. Now, an accidental manager is someone who just got promoted into the role but didn't have any training, didn't have any formal understanding of what it meant to actually lead other people. So when you are interviewing, when you are looking to get promoted, when you are potentially moving to work on a team under a new manager, make sure that you have an understanding of what their skills and competencies are, both as a manager and as a leader. Leadership skills are also absolutely essential for navigating change. So if you think about the communication that happens in an organization when a big shift or a big change is happening, if, say, for example, a company is moving to a new technology for the entire company, or a company is moving into a new market that is a fundamental shift for the company, How that gets communicated and how that gets translated into your work, into your goals, into your opportunities is absolutely essential for whether or not you remain engaged in the middle of what is going to be a certain amount of chaos. So the role of leadership when it comes to change is absolutely essential for making sure that work still continues to get done and that people still feel excited about what it is that they're doing, joyful about what it is that they're doing, or passionate about what they're doing, and they still know what to do. So the role of leadership when it comes to change is absolutely critical. Some of the best leaders are transformational leaders. They're the people who you work with them for a year or two. You really enjoy what it is that you're doing. It pushes you beyond your limits, so you're not enjoying it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week because you are working longer hours maybe, or you are doing extra effort, or you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. But the stories that you have from those kind of projects where you've worked for a transformational leader who is really looking to up-level an entire group, they're the people who you do amazing work under. They're the people who lead you to be able to think differently about what it is that you do and the value you can bring to the world. They're the people who elevate the standard of what you consider to be possible for leadership. They're the people who you're probably still talking about 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now. And what they also do is they build very cohesive teams, because you need a cohesive team to be able to pull off something truly spectacular. So transformational leadership is absolutely essential for very serious shift in a company's ability to be able to deliver to their customers, and also in a company's ability to be able to innovate. A lot of the work that I do is in the innovation space, and I've written a book called The Innovation Mindset. But what I've noticed with innovation leaders is to really be a great innovation leader, you need to be a change leader, you need to be a transformational leader, and you need to be an innovation leader. And you need to understand the difference between assigning people tasks and actually leading people. One of the things I say in my book is manage commitments, lead people. And what we tend to do when we think about leadership and we understand the importance of leadership, we then have a role model to be able to aspire to the kind of leader that we want to be. It'd be useful for you right now to think about, what kind of leader do I want to be? Am I going to be a change leader, a transformational leader, an innovation leader? And you can be at different times elements of all of that, but worth looking at and identifying who are those people in your organization and seeing them as role models for yourself as you grow your leadership competency. So as you make the mindset shift for yourself from managing tasks and assigning tasks, which I would consider to be a management role, if even a management role, and largely that's because if you work in an organization where you're encouraging people to make offers, task management is not your primary job, but a lot of managers consider that to be their primary job. So we'll talk about that in more detail in another video. But when you start moving from managing tasks to leading people, what you're doing when you're leading people is you're growing them. You're helping them be part of the vision of what it is you're looking to accomplish. You're helping them get committed to what it is that they're doing. You're helping them bridge the gap between where they are and where you need them to be. You're coaching them, you're supporting them, you're engaging them, you're encouraging them, you're helping them build new skills, whether it's through you or through someone you might bring in to help them with the process. So as you think about why leadership is so important in organizations, those are some of the reasons. They're also some of the reasons as to why it is you want to become a leader, as to why it's important for you to build your leadership skills. And I want these videos to be helpful for you as you go through that process. As you think about what your leadership skills are, also think about it in terms of whether or not you're ready for a next promotion, because a next promotion is going to be a stretch in your leadership capacity. I have an assessment that will help you think through that. It is getpromotedassessment.com. There's a link to it down in the comments below as well. Do that assessment, see whether or not it begins to help you think about the reflection you need to do to decide what kind of leader you want to be and whether or not you're ready to step into a leadership role. As you do it, keep coming back out here and let us know how it's going. If you have questions about it, drop them into the comments below and I will absolutely answer them. I wish you the very best of luck, and I also hope that as you go on your own leadership journey, that you begin to appreciate how incredibly important and valuable really great leadership is, and I hope you become one of them.